In 2008, Hallmark released what many believed was one of its most heartfelt and inclusive films ever, Sweet Nothing in My Ear, a story about love, communication, and the complexities of raising a deaf child in a hearing world. But now, 17 years later, the silence is finally broken. What if we told you that behind the moving performances and the warm family themes was a web of conflict, cover-ups, and controversy that Hallmark never wanted you to know? Let's rewind. The movie, starring Jeff Daniels and Marlee Matlin, was praised at the time for its representation of the deaf community. But those close to the production say something else entirely. According to multiple insiders who worked on set, the production was chaos disguised as compassion. A script intended to uplift the deaf community, they say, became a battleground between creative vision and corporate control. In the early stages of casting, Hallmark was advised to include more deaf actors in prominent roles. But shockingly, several hearing actors were cast to portray deaf characters, even when deaf performers had already auditioned and were told they were strong contenders. One actress, who spoke to us under the condition of anonymity, said she was flown out to L.A., screen-tested, and even attended an ASL workshop with the cast. Days later, she was dropped without explanation, her role going to a more TV-friendly face, she claims. Her story was quietly buried, until now. Deaf advocacy groups caught wind of these decisions, and according to leaked internal memos, a quiet protest was planned near the set, one that Hallmark allegedly paid to prevent from gaining press attention. One of the most disturbing revelations comes from a former editor on the film, who now lives abroad and recently spoke out on an independent podcast. He claims that there was a powerful 6-minute scene where Marlee Matlin's character emotionally confronts a group of doctors pressuring her to allow cochlear implant surgery for her son. The scene was said to be too raw, too real, exposing how systemic ableism often hides behind polished language and medical advice. The problem? Corporate sponsors, including one linked to a hearing aid manufacturer, threatened to pull funding. The scene was cut. The footage was ordered destroyed. But here's the twist. The editor says he kept a copy. He says he has the scene on a private hard drive, encrypted and hidden away, just in case the truth ever needed to be heard. As if that wasn't enough, another major blow-up occurred between Jeff Daniels and the film's legendary director, Joseph Sargent. According to production crew members, the two clashed repeatedly over key scenes. One intense argument took place during the filming of a critical court scene, where Daniels' character pleads with a judge for the right to give his son a cochlear implant. Daniels allegedly insisted on portraying the character as morally conflicted, with pauses and trembles in his voice. Sargent, however, wanted a more assertive, confident delivery. The disagreement escalated. Cameras were stopped. The script supervisor walked off set. Eventually, Hallmark executives had to intervene. They sided with Sargent, but Daniels was furious and nearly quit the project. Fast forward to January 2024. An anonymous whistleblower posts screenshots of internal Hallmark emails from 2007 to 2008 on a private industry forum. The emails contain phrases like, "We can't afford to alienate middle American families." The deaf storyline needs to feel inspirational, not confrontational. Sponsor X will walk if we go too deep into the systemic stuff. These messages reveal what many feared, that the emotional story we saw on screen was strategically filtered, edited not to tell the truth, but to avoid upsetting advertisers and audiences who weren't ready to hear it. This isn't just about one movie. It's about the decades-long pattern of networks choosing comfort over authenticity, profit over people. And it's about a community that has fought for decades to be heard, only to have their voices softened, censored, or ignored. So the question remains, will Hallmark address the controversy now that it's resurfaced? Will the deleted scene ever be released? And will the deaf community finally get the full recognition it deserves? We reached out to Hallmark Channel for comment. They declined. Sweet Nothing in My Ear may have touched hearts in 2008, but now, in 2025, it's stirring something much deeper, a reckoning, because sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Let us know what you think in the comments. Should the deleted scenes be released? Should the actors speak out? Or should we let the past stay in the P?